It's only episode 2 of Michael's Transit high-end daily system. If you haven't watched episode 1, spin round and watch episode 1 and then watch this one. Aren't you in for a treat? Hey, let's go. So it's done. Mike's Transit, this is episode 2. Like I say, if you haven't seen episode 1, it might be worth going to have a look at that, because we won't discuss in this what we discussed in that one. What's finished now compared to episode 1? Okay, so we've done the door builds are finished, the pillars are finished. The pillars are trimmed in like an OEM fabric. We've used a sort of dome system on the pillars because there's such a large expanse of drivers. It's about 9 inches across, so standing them up is a bit of a mare. Let me not explain here. Let's go and have a look. Got a lovely new gimbal now as well. Right, okay. So first thing you'll notice is that cloth on the airbag. Michael's probably not going to be too happy that we've shot the video before we put the airbag on. There's a new carbon wheel gone on there, and the airbag has a bit of adhesive on it that we're not really happy with, so we've got a new cover, and that'll be coming Monday when he collects the fan. So sorry mate, but Saturdays are the day. And then after that, you notice the door build. Alcantara vinyl trim around the outside. That Alcantara panel is a grille panel to conceal the hardware. Sealed, braced, solid, completely airtight. Lovely fast mid bass from this. All right, off axis obviously, so we've lowered the crossover frequency a little, but we're good. They don't hit anything, and they're nice and solid. And then you'll see the tweeters and the mid-ranges up on the pillars. Now, if you're a fan of car audio, if you're a bit of a hardcore fan of car audio, you'll follow people from sort of Indonesia, Cartons Audio, people like that. Wicked fitters, and they do some really cool stuff with domes. They make them out of brass, copper, all sorts of things. They must have an abundance of that stuff over there, because we can't get hold of copper domes over here. So we print them and then damp them. So you'll hear that this is a dead dome, okay? That dome is hollowed through on the back into the pillar, so this isn't a sealed mid-range driver. There's a foam surround around the pillar. The tweeter is sealed, other than its cable that comes through to it. And you can kind of see the design from here. Now, of course, the mid-range dome is a much more, it's got a much more severe rake on the back of it. See if we can pick it up from the front there. Of course, there's a reflection bang in the way. But that dome goes all the way into the pillar. So, you know, a smaller mid-range, you could possibly get away with using it as an enclosure. We've not measured them, so I don't know how large they are, because we never considered sealing them in the first place. So we're using the director for digital volume, master volume, sub bass control, and different sound settings. 2 sound settings, one aligned to the driver, the other aligned to the passenger, so Michael can switch between the two and give the passenger the same experience. We've got the OEM radio connected as promised in the first video, so now if I were to pause this and turn this up, that'll be the radio, okay? And then if I were to, for instance, fast forward until we found Tidal, as soon as I press play, we get not only our favourite song, but it automatically cuts over. Now I've paused that, if you were to give this about 10 seconds, this will come on as well. Who's counting? There we go. So there you go. And that just seamlessly links between the two. Now you can obviously tell the difference between the two there. We've put next to no focus in making the OEM radio sound any good. He doesn't listen to his system in the way that most of our clients do. He listens to his DAP primarily, okay? So our emphasis is on the DAP in this car. The OEM radio is of course set up, but it's used so that he can connect his phone, and when a phone call comes through, he just presses pause on the DAP, he can answer via the car, and away we go. So it functions as a car as well. It doesn't have to be a compromise on the function of the car. We don't want to lose anything that the car can do. So beeps, bongs, everything like that is all working fine, and that's the key in getting the OEM radio to work with the DSP, and then primarily using the DAP for our sort of higher output, our higher resolution files rather than higher output. It's all the same. Yeah, so pillars. Door builds. Now, of course, the dog boxes are mounted back in the back of the van, so the amps are never to be seen again. It's nice to have it out of the workshop, to be fair, because it was massive. These dogs are big, you know. I'll show you that now. Trying to think of anything else, because the van's been here for probably 6 or 7 weeks. It's had an awful lot of work done. But when you look at it, you know, short of the door builds and the pillars, there's not really that much to see. And I think it's because of our style of fabrication. It all kind of looks relatively OEM, albeit the pillars. I know the pillars are outlandish and they're quite large. I like them. You know, you know my opinion on pillars by now. If I could have the sound without them, we wouldn't do it. But we can't do that. We need the drivers in a natural, good location. So we've tried to make them as good as possible, and I think they're quite fresh. You know, they're different to the sort of our original sort of stack pillar design. And the Isatar driver and Isatar mid-range, they're so large that they kind of have to be fitted in a very specific way. So if we were talking, I don't know, Audison Thesis in here, Hertz Melee, something like that, even, you know, a lot of ScanSpeak stuff, even more specialist drivers that you can get, you know, decent 1-inch domes with neo magnets and not a huge faceplate and stuff like that, and a 3-inch driver, then of course we can scale that all back. So if you're watching this and thinking, well, your pillars are massive, you know, they don't have to be, all right? It's the driver that dictates the pillar in this scenario, and the twin mid-bass drivers that dictate the door build. You know, you can put a 6.5 behind the door. That said, none of those scenarios are going to sound better than what you have in a fully custom kit like that. You know, I think we've hit the nail on the head with this being still a high-end build. It's still a large build by most people's standards, but this is a more dailyable, there's such a word, approach compared to his other van. He can use this a lot more. There's less compromise on the van, you know. He can have fewer settings because there isn't huge scope for volume at the top end, plus SQ. It's kind of only SQ in this system, and you listen to it and enjoy it, you know. So yeah, I've enjoyed this. It's kind of taken us back to what we did a long time ago when we were a bit more into the sort of competition scene and things like that, and there's been some old school thought that's been churned up, and it's quite nice. So yeah, anyway, transit owners, car owners, van owners, train owners, I don't care, we can make them sound good. So give us a shout, info@studioincar.co.uk. I'm Carl, This is Michael's Transit. He's picking it up Monday morning, it's Saturday afternoon now, and I can't wait. We've had a couple of people come in and listen to it. A couple of sort of people ad hoc as well who've just been here and gone, oh, can I have a listen? And they've all been really impressed, so I'm quite happy with how it's sounding. Wicked stuff. You take it easy. Bye.